Hello, good. Oh, awesome. It's working. Hello. Good morning. We are cutting into programming right now to bring you breaking news from the city of Buffalo, where right now Buffalo firefighters are battling a fire in downtown Buffalo that's sending thick smoke throughout the city. This is a live look from our tower cam just a few blocks away. We've seen white, gray, even black smoke for the last 20 minutes, even some flames shooting through the roof at some point about 10 minutes ago. Now we're told this is happening at 745 Main Street. That's DC Theatrics, according to Google Maps, which is a costume shop. We do have a crew that just got there a few minutes ago, and we're hoping to get to them in a little bit. But there's another angle of all of the smoke that fire is causing across downtown Buffalo right now. A lot of white smoke. Again, 745 Main Street in downtown Buffalo is the building that's on fire. It's a costume shop. So if you are home watching and you see or smell smoke around the city of Buffalo, that's likely where that's coming from. That is the camera that our crew just set up. You can see the firefighters fighting those flames on that building. Again, 745 Main Street in downtown Buffalo. That's near Main and Tupper. Firefighters got there about 20 minutes ago. That's when we heard the call, started seeing smoke, and we could see it from our tower cam. You can see dozens of firefighters from the Buffalo Fire Department there trying to put out those flames on that building. Again, we do have a crew there. We're hoping to get to Keelan Berrien live in a few minutes. But let's just look at this video. And if you're just joining us, we are breaking into regular programming right now to share with you this breaking news out of downtown Buffalo, where a building on Main Street has caught fire. This started about 25 minutes ago. That's when we started noticing the smoke from one of our tower cams. We're told this is 745 Main Street in Buffalo, that it is a costume shop where this fire is happening. Dozens of firefighters have responded and they're putting out the flames. At one point, flames were shooting through the roof, but right now we just see thick white and black smoke coming from that building. Again, a costume shop on Main Street in downtown Buffalo. There's another angle for you from one of our tower cams. The smoke still billowing out of that building. So if you do have to come to downtown Buffalo in the next hour or so, just be aware that this is happening. There are probably several streets blocked off. You may even be rerouted to get to your destination this morning. A third angle for you right through the Aloft Hotel. You can see right behind it. Again, the building that's on fire, 745 Main Street. That's near Main and Tupper. If you're driving on the 33, you would probably see this as well. A lot of smoke, probably seen from miles away. White smoke right now. Again, this is 745 Main Street in Buffalo. This fire started about 25 minutes ago. That's when we started noticing the smoke on our tower cams that we use to show you the weather, and our meteorologists rely on them. But this is a costume shop that's on fire. Our angle from the ground there, you can see the flames where Buffalo firefighters are trying to put out this fire, large fire in downtown Buffalo this hour. The name of the company, according to Google Maps, that occupies that building is DC Theatrics, which is a costume shop in the theater district in downtown Buffalo on Main Street. This fire started probably right around 10 o'clock. That's when we at least noticed it. And again, we do have a crew there. That's the camera that you're looking at right now. Keelan Berrien is at the fire gathering as much information as he can. Now, sometimes in this situation, you get there and you're not going to get any information about what's going on until after the fire is put out, obviously, because the firefighters are busy working on putting out the flames. But Keelan will be able to give us a better perspective of what's happening there, what he sees. You can see that the smoke switched from white to black again. The Buffalo Fire Department probably an all hands on deck situation because these buildings are so close together downtown. Anytime you have one of these fires, everybody pretty much is called in. You can see the flames shooting out of the roof again. We don't know how many stories this building is. I don't know how tall it is. I can kind of picture the area where it is, but if it is a costume shop, you would have to think there are a lot of flammable materials in there, and that's why we're seeing this kind of smoke. Again, if you're just joining us, we just broke into our regular programming this morning to bring you this breaking news from downtown Buffalo, where a fire broke out just around 10 o'clock at 745 Main Street, the 700 block of Main. So in the theater district, and Buffalo firefighters responded. They are there right now. That's our angle from the ground. Our crew is there, and we should be getting to Keelan Berrien live in just a few minutes, as soon as he can establish a line so that he can hear us and we can hear him. And then we'll get more information about what's actually happening on the ground in downtown Buffalo. At this point, they also have to make sure no other buildings catch on fire. Right now, let's go to Keelan. Keelan, what can you tell us?
Thanks, Kelly. Right now, I'm out here in downtown Buffalo on Main Street, where you can just see behind me right now, this 4-story high-rise is literally engulfed in flames and a lot of smoke. Now, fire crews did come out and fight the flame at first, but once again, the building just went right back up. Actually, a few minutes ago, part of the building actually collapsed. There's dozens of emergency crews out here, firefighters, lots of people coming into the scene. A lot of people do not know what really caused the fire, what started the fire, but later on tonight, we can tell you a little bit more as we learn a little bit more information. But reporting from Main Street, Keelan Berrien, Channel 2 News.
All right, Keelan, thank you. So Keelan, adding to the information that we already had, he said it's a 4-story building. Part of it collapsed. He said it looked like the firefighters got the flames out, but then it picked back up again, and that fire is going in downtown Buffalo. At this point, of course, firefighters are trying to make sure no other buildings catch fire. But if you had plans to come to downtown Buffalo, or if you're in downtown Buffalo right now, you're probably seeing and smelling that smoke that's coming from 745 Main Street, a costume shop near Main and Tupper in downtown Buffalo, where a large fire broke out just about a half hour ago at this point. That's why we're breaking into regular programming for you. That's our angle from one of our tower cams. That's when we originally saw the smoke, and then we sent our crew down there. There's another angle for you, that white smoke billowing out of that 4-story building that we know partially collapsed. We also know that in these situations, of course, the firefighters need to make sure they are staying safe. So that collapse is probably making it a lot harder for them to put out the flames at this point. And then they also have to take defensive measures to make sure the other buildings in the area don't catch fire. So just be aware, if you have to come to downtown Buffalo this morning, know that there are going to be a bunch of street closures as firefighters battle this fire at 745 Main Street. We will, of course, have the latest for you coming up at 11 o'clock on midday and at 4 o'clock on Most Buffalo. Make sure you follow Keelan Berrien on social media as well, because he is at the fire and he'll be posting updates for you throughout the morning. And I know that that camera's moving right there, but that's our crew on the ground there, right up where the firefighters are. Dave McKinley is there as well, and we may be able to go to him at this point. He's our second crew there. So we're trying to get Dave McKinley for you, and he should be able to bring you additional information. Dave, it's Kelly in the studio. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Kel.
Awesome. All right. So what are you seeing at the fire right now? What info can you tell us?
Well, this building, which also fronts both Main Street and back of it, Washington Street, where some of the attack by firefighters is going on. There are several aerial trucks trying to quell the flames within this large brick structure. To the back of it, where I am, appears to be, well, there's a for sale sign on it, and one of the doors is open, shows quite a bit of debris inside of it right now. So I don't know if the back portion of this building was being used, but there's still quite a plume of smoke coming out as firefighters attack on both the north and the east sides of this building with several aerial trucks trying to quell those flames as they continue to try and enter this building where the fire broke out right around 10 o'clock this morning.
And Dave, you've covered a lot of fires. What's this response like so far? Are you just seeing Buffalo firefighters as of right now, or anybody from any other fire departments?
At this point, from my vantage point, now I'm standing on the Washington Street side, not far north of Tupper. I don't see any other fire departments besides the Buffalo Fire Department, but it does seem like they have probably just about every aerial they have, because they have 3 aerials working on the Washington Street side, and I can see at least one on the Main Street side.
And what's the condition of the other buildings next to the building that's on fire right now from your vantage point?
Well, on the north side of this building, there's nothing but a small, appears to be a brick outbuilding, so it's not attached on the north side of it. I'm going to take a look on the south side, because you raised a good point along Main Street.
Yeah.
You've got many buildings attached to each other. Now, it is bordered on the south by a more modern brick structure. And it appears that the fire is getting somewhat close to that, but I can't say for sure if it's spread to other buildings.
And I know you have to stay some distance away because we have to stay safe and let the firefighters do their jobs. But I can't remember the last time there was a large fire in downtown Buffalo. I know we've had a few buildings collapse on Ellicott a couple of years ago, I think during the pandemic. But in this situation, this is something that these firefighters train for, especially they train for it in the cold. What else can you tell us, Dave, from what you're seeing right now? And you said you could see into the building. We do know it's a costume shop, so they have all kinds of stuff in there probably packed in.
Yeah, well, I can see in through the back, which appears to be kind of a warehouse area
Okay.
with a for sale sign on it. So I don't know if the back portion of this building was used. But, just as you were speaking, Kelly, I do see flames rising up through the roof of the back portion of the building as well. So this thing is they're still trying to get this one under control right now.
And this is a costume company that would hold these costumes and then rent them out to theater companies that do productions so that, you don't have to make all of your own costumes for whatever you're doing. What does the age of, is it one of the older buildings downtown, Dave? Because I still cannot picture which building it is. Keelan said it was 4 stories tall.
In the front of it, yeah. In the back portion where I am, it's 2 stories tall for
Okay.
the warehouse portion. I don't see a cornerstone on the building, but it is a brick structure. I would just guess, by the style of the windows and such, that it's been here for quite a while.
Great. Well, Dave, thank you for your report. We'll probably check back in with you in a few minutes. Again, if you're just joining us, we are breaking into regular programming to bring you news right now. Breaking news of a fire in downtown Buffalo at 345 Main Street. It's DC Theatrics that's on fire, a 4-story building. Keelan Berrien, one of our reporters, is there right now, said that he saw part of the building collapse. Dave McKinley, who you just heard from, said that he could see into the building. He saw that it was packed with stuff, that had caught fire. And we do know that this costume company has been in business for about 39 years, according to their website. And they also provide mascot costumes for a lot of companies, a lot of local companies. So it sounds like this company that has strong roots here in Western New York. On their website, they say they have more than 30,000 costume props and accessories on site. So we will continue following this story. We will have the latest for you, live reports from Keelan and Dave coming up at the top of the hour at 11 o'clock for midday. For now, we'll send you back to your regular programming, and we'll see you in about 25 minutes. battling a 4-alarm fire in downtown Buffalo that's sending thick smoke throughout the city. This is a live look right now. The fire is at 747 Main Street. That's on Main Street, just north of Tupper. We've seen white, gray, even black smoke for the past hour, even some flames shooting through the roof. The DC Theatrics business is listed at this address, again, 747 Main Street in downtown Buffalo. The building is 3 stories tall. It's a company that rents out professional theatrical costumes. They serve many of our local theaters and high schools for their performances. And this is video we've captured over the last hour. You can see that thick gray smoke over downtown. 2 on your sides, Keelan Berrien is there at the fire. Keelan, what can you tell us?
Good evening, Kelly. Yes, out here on Main Street, dozens of emergency crews are out here trying to fight this fire, which witnesses say it started at the bottom of this DC Theatrics building here. So I'm gonna step out of the way so you guys can take a great look. And I do want to apologize if you hear any vulgar language because things are getting a little intense out here. But as you can see, smoke is filling the air all around downtown Buffalo. When I spoke to a few witnesses, they say they noticed the smoke, but took a while to see flames. In fact, they say once flames break through, it made a boom sound. Minutes later, part of the building collapsed. But what witnesses saw, one witness saw, being one of the first, one witness saw, this is what he's had to say, being one of the first witnesses at the scene.
For a few seconds, it was just smoke, maybe 30 seconds to a minute. It was just a lot of smoke coming out, and then all of a sudden there was a burst of flames, and you could hear the floor fall. There was a sound like of the fire sort of bursting out of the window, and then you could hear the out of the front windows there, and then you could hear the floor fall. Yeah.
All right, Kelly, and we have to rush. All right, Kelly, well, we have to rush here because emergency crews are telling everyone to back up here for safety purposes. We still don't know the determination of what caused this fire behind us, but later on tonight we can tell you a little bit more. But reporting in downtown Buffalo, Keelan Berrien, Channel 2 News.
All right, thank you, Keelan. Get to a safe spot. Now, the smoke could be seen for miles and can still be seen for miles this morning. We have sped up this video to make it a bit easier to see that movement. This is a look from our casino cam in Niagara Falls. You can see the smoke drifting over the city of Buffalo and then over Lake Erie. Here's another look from 2 NITAC traffic cameras this morning. The one on the left is from the 33 at Oak and East Tupper. The other's also from the 33 between Oak and Jefferson. You can see that thick white smoke billowing out of, again, 747 Main Street. That's a theater costume company on Main Street in downtown Buffalo. The fire started at DC Theatrics at 747 Main around 10 o'clock this morning. That's between Goodell and Tupper, down the street from St. Louis Roman Catholic Church. You can see on the map just how it's situated there in case you were wondering. That's another view from one of our tower cameras in downtown Buffalo. We noticed the smoke around 10 o'clock this morning coming from the 700 block of Main Street. That's, again, we just learned, a 4-alarm fire. Everybody responding, Buffalo firefighters, for a little more than an hour now. Massive fire in downtown Buffalo. So if you have plans to come to downtown Buffalo, just be aware that there are probably a lot of street closures. At this point, we don't have the exact street closures for you just yet, but our Keelan Berrien and Dave McKinley have been there for at least the past half hour. We heard from Dave about a half an hour ago, and he told us that he could see some of the costumes inside of the building that had burned. He told us it looked like an older building. Keelan told us earlier that part of the building had collapsed, and you just heard Keelan say that they were telling the media to get farther away from the fire because firefighters have to be able to do their work, and they need room to do their work. They need to be able to stay safe. After that fire's put out, we should learn more information, but they're busy doing their jobs right now, and they've also got to make sure this fire doesn't spread to any other buildings in downtown Buffalo. Again, if you're just joining us for midday, our coverage is continuing this hour of a big fire that broke out in downtown Buffalo around 10 o'clock this morning. Right now, Buffalo firefighters are battling this 4-alarm fire that's sending thick smoke throughout the city. We saw flames shooting through the roof of that building at one point. It's either a 3 or a 4-story building that houses a costume company, DC Theatrics, in downtown Buffalo. It has thousands of costumes that it rents out to theater companies and high schools all across Western New York for their productions. This is a live look. Again, it's at 747 Main Street. That is on Main, just north of Tupper. We're going to check in with our Dave McKinley, who's been there. Dave, what can you tell us?
Well, Kelly, we're reporting to you from the Washington Street side, or the east side of the building. You take a look behind me, you can see some of the aerial trucks working, trying to knock down what's left of the flames, which keep cropping up from time to time. In fact, there are 4 aerial trucks working on these 2 sides, the east and north sides of the building. Now, I can tell you, Kelly, that I just got off the phone with the owner of the building. The owner of the building is Chris Jacobs, the former congressman. He tells me he purchased this building back in December, that the only tenant was the costume shop in the front. He was hoping to redevelop this building. He told me that they believed a wall of it was damaged in the recent earthquake, believe it or not, and that they were doing some work in there. We're not clear if they were doing work today, but according to the building's owner, Chris Jacobs, the former congressman who purchased it in December, he says that no one was hurt, as far as he knows, in the fire thus far. And of course, that is coming from the building owner. I talked to him by phone. He's in Washington, D.C. right now, but he had heard about the fire and had been in touch with the fire department. So that's the looks of things here as they continue to work with aerial trucks to try and knock down what is burning inside this old structure. By the way, Chris Jacobs also told me he owns all the buildings, 4 or 5 of them to the south of here as well, and he had purchased this one in December as part of his plans to redevelop and improve it somehow. So Kelly, that's the word from here right now.
All right, so new information from Dave McKinley. Thank you, Dave. Just to go over that once again, Chris Jacobs, a former congressman, owns that chunk of buildings, 745 Main Street in downtown Buffalo. Here's another view of what's happening right now with this massive fire on Main Street in downtown Buffalo. From a drone, you can see just how far that smoke is billowing and how many people that's impacting. We can smell it here in the studio. Patrick, I talked to him just a few minutes ago, and he said the wind is, blowing this way. So that's why we can smell it here in the studio. We do know about some street closures that we can share with you right now. We found out this information just a few minutes ago. You can see Main Street there clearly impacted. That is closed to traffic around the Theater District. The 700 block of Main at least is closed, and cars are being diverted around the area as firefighters continue to do their work. Again, a 4-alarm fire at 747 Main Street in downtown Buffalo. It's a costume shop, and the building was just purchased by Chris Jacobs, who is revitalizing that area of downtown Buffalo. Our team coverage continues on midday. Right now, we're going to send you to break, but we'll be right back.
No grill? No time? No problem. Salen's Grilled For You hot dogs come pre-grilled, ready to heat and eat in just minutes. Convenient for you, delicious for them. It's Salen's Grilled For You hot dogs. Available now at your favorite grocery retailer.
We have over 400 employees here at Batavia Downs Gaming and Hotel with one shared goal. We not only want you to like coming here, we want you to love coming here.
I love that people bring their weddings and business meetings here. I love it when people have an enjoyable night at the Labatt Blue Zone.
I love knowing we are able to provide a safe, secure, and clean environment.
I've been here 34 years, and I love that we improve every day.
I love making people smile.
We not only want you to like coming here, we want you to love coming here.
This Friday through Sunday, visit City Mattress and try our new Prana Sleep mattress collection and get an all-natural sheet set by Carrie Loha for just $59, a $2.99 value. Only at City Mattress.
Monroe Chiropractic, the advocate for the injured. Suffering from neck pain or back pain, call Monroe Chiropractic, open 7 days a week.
Western New York is known for its proud sports fans, delicious food, and as a winter wonderland. But more than that, for its hardworking men and women.
For over 75 years, Lewis & Lewis has been a trusted part of this community. With 5 local offices, we fight for the rights of injured workers and accident victims.
If I were hurt in an accident, I would want an attorney with experience, someone local, someone I could trust. That's what you get with Lewis & Lewis.
Have you been thinking about replacing your unsafe deck? Now is the perfect time. At the Vinyl Outlet, you can beat the spring rush. Book now to lock in your 30% off installation or special financing. Appointments are filling up fast. Hurry and call today. 675-0800 or thevinyloutlet.com.
Did you know that a custom stair lift can keep you in the home you love and can be less than the cost of 1 month at an independent living community? Stay safe. Stay in the home you love. Call the accessibility experts at Westside Medical Supply today.
After my car accident, I didn't know if I had a case, so I called my attorneys now at the Barnes firm. My case was worth $1.2 million.
Do you have a case? Call us now and find out.
Call 1-800-8-million. Get your Storm Team 2 weather forecast and zone forecasts anytime you want with WGRZ Plus. Add it to your Roku and Fire TV today and get Storm Team 2 forecasts on your schedule.
As midday continues right now, our breaking news coverage continues of the massive fire on Main Street. Here's a live look where crews are battling that fire at DC Theatrics. That's a costume shop between Goodell and Tupper on the 700 block of Main. That entire block of Main Street obviously closed right now to traffic so that firefighters can do their thing and get this fire under control. Crews have been there for more than an hour now. We started seeing the smoke on our tower cams around 10 o'clock. We also have 2 news crews out there gathering information from witnesses right now. You heard from one of the men who saw that fire right after it started at the top of the hour. We will, of course, continue to follow this breaking news and bring you any updates throughout the next half hour as we can. And this is new drone video that we just got into our newsroom minutes ago from high above the fire. We just got this in about the past 10 minutes. You can see the flames and the smoke coming from the building. Heavy smoke now moving throughout the city. We could smell it here in the studio on Delaware Ave just a few minutes ago. You can also see Main Street and the streets in that area closed right now so that firefighters can do their work. So if you have plans to come downtown later today, just be aware that some of the streets you might need are going to be blocked off. 11:13 now, let's check in with Patrick Hammer. Patrick, you said the smoke was blowing, so it was drifting over Delaware Ave, heading in our direction.
Yeah, heading towards Allentown and parts of downtown. You can see it here. It's usually you get wind off the lake out of the west-southwest, but this is an easterly wind, so it's kind of blowing the smoke back. And our news director came in and asked me, can you see this on radar? It reminds me of the 2016 Bethlehem Steel Fire. Remember that? And you could see it because the smoke was so hot and went so high in the atmosphere, you could actually see it on Doppler radar. And I just looked at an image, and there's one little frame, and I'll try to get that up for you, but you can see it briefly. There was one scan of the radar that could show the billowing smoke when it was at its hottest and highest in the atmosphere. So having a little bit of an impact on the atmosphere. There's some of that dark smoke. You like the white smoke is better, obviously, with the water getting onto the flame. All right, anyway, more on the fire as we move forward. Let's talk about the forecast that is getting a little bit better now as we head into the afternoon. We're going to see some brighter skies, even some clearing across the southern tier, where we will get into the 50s today. We had some showers, even a little sleet earlier. Those showers are done. 30s tomorrow. Developing snows, though, are in the cards for Friday afternoon, Friday night, and it could be heavy, impacting the Friday night commute. Heads up, okay? 40s in Buffalo today, 50s for the southern tier. Watching a winter storm, I have to believe watches of some variety will be issued later today. Heavy snow later Friday. A mix, though, for some to some rain or maybe a little bit of ice. Let's get to the details. First of all, clearing skies today, but I want to spend a little bit more time on this. This is what's coming. All right, it arrives late Friday. We do believe that there will be a mix to the south, all snow to the north. At least 6 inches, 6+ inches is possible. Still a bit early to call for amounts because there will be an area that mixes to rain. But right now we think what we've seen in the last couple of these storms is that once it starts to precipitate and it starts as snow, it's tending to stay snow in many areas. There will be a change to sleet and rain to the south, we believe. But for Buffalo to the Falls, even the south towns, heavy snow is a possibility, and we're going to be able to fine-tune some amounts, but many areas well over 6 inches as we head towards Saturday morning. So a start to the weekend that could be snowy for some, especially from Buffalo up towards the Falls, the first weekend of March. Temperatures in the 30s, another chance of some snow showers on Tuesday, but the highest impact Friday late in the afternoon, Friday night, and into Saturday. As we head to the south towns in the southern tier, we have to keep a chance of a mix to sleet or even briefly rain, especially for the southern tier later on Friday night, maybe into Saturday too, but we're trending towards more snow than anything else. Drier weather on Sunday. Kelly.
All right, Patrick, we want to get back to our team coverage of the massive fire that's happening right now on Main Street in downtown Buffalo near Tupper. Now, this is video that shows you just how far away you can see the smoke. We've sped up this video a bit to make it easier to see the movement there. This is from our casino cam in Niagara Falls. You can see the smoke drifting over the city of Buffalo and then over onto Lake Erie. Here's another look from 2 NITAC traffic cameras. The one on your left is from the 33 at Oak and East Tupper. The other also from the 33 between Oak and Jefferson. And you can see that thick white smoke blending into the clouds there, billowing over that building. The fire, by the way, started at DC Theatrics. It's at 747 Main Street between Goodell and Tupper, down the street from St. Louis Church there in downtown Buffalo. Our team coverage continues this midday. Right now, Buffalo firefighters are still battling that 4-alarm fire in downtown Buffalo that is sending thick smoke up into the sky. Again, it's at 747 Main Street. Our Dave McKinley is there, I believe, on the Washington side to tell us what he's seeing right now. Dave.
This side, Kelly, on the Washington Street side of the structure, which stretches over to Main Street, you can see behind me aerial trucks, and there are 4 of them making their attack from this side of the building. Occasionally, you do still see flames coming up in portions through the roof, but they are less frequent now as they continue to pour water on this from 4 aerial trucks and 2 trucks on the ground as well on the Washington Street side of this building. As we reported a few minutes ago, I got off the phone with the building's owner around 11 o'clock this morning. That is Chris Jacobs, the former congressman, and he tells me he purchased this building in December. He was hoping to redevelop it. The costume shop up front on Main Street was the only tenant. The back part of the building was vacant. He also told me that they were doing some work in there, although we're unclear whether any work was going on today. But he said part of the rehab involved their efforts to rebuild a wall, which they thought was actually damaged in the recent earthquake. But Chris Jacobs bought this building in December to add to a portfolio of buildings he owns, which goes south on Main Street from here. He owns several of the buildings. He tells us that he's been in touch with the fire department. As of 11 o'clock, he had said that they told him there were no injuries, and that was the good news, if there is any out of this fire, that he had hoped to share. We also saw firefighters trying to make egress into an adjoining building by actually using an axe to chop into a garage door so they could get in there to try and attack the fire as well. So aerial trucks continue to pour water on this fire that broke out, well, a little over an hour ago. At least that's when the fire department started responding here around 10 o'clock this morning. Kel?
Dave, love that update so far. No reports of anyone hurt. We'll get back to our team coverage. We'll hopefully check in with Keelan Berrien next. We know during his last live report, he had to move to a place that was safer. We should be able to check back in with him after the break.
Buffalo's oldie station.
The Big Quack.
For their dedication and service to the community, and for preparing you for severe weather, Storm Team 2 has been honored as Weather Ready National Ambassadors. From a rare tornado,
there is rotation within this cell,
to a record snowfall, to the 2022 blizzard, to a noteworthy ice storm.
Freezing rain, snow, all of it falling across western New York.
Storm Team 2 prepares you for what's to come. Storm Team 2, honored for severe weather preparation. honored to be on your side.
Choose to get represented by people who care. At Kenneth Hiller, we will fight for every dollar you deserve.
Get results, not compromises. The law offices of Kenneth Hiller. Generations of experience fighting for you.
Spectrum presents The Download with Clarissa.
Everyone is talking about Spectrum One. Matt, give us a download.
Clarissa, people are switching because Spectrum is offering seamless connectivity with Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and unlimited mobile.
That's the future of connectivity. That's Spectrum One.
Switch to Spectrum One and get 300 megabit internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and one free line of unlimited mobile. Call 1-833-883-4999.
What's unique about Spectrum Internet?
Spectrum Internet has the most consistent download speeds and no data caps.
How secure is the Wi-Fi?
The advanced Wi-Fi comes with enhanced privacy and security features that block online threats.
Why is Spectrum Mobile the fastest growing mobile provider?
Spectrum Mobile is super reliable and it includes 5G nationwide.
Plus unlimited calls, texts, and
data.
Switch to Spectrum One and get 300 megabit internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and one free line of unlimited mobile. Call 1-833-883-4999.
Call now or visit a Spectrum store today.
Is your house frustratingly cold? Here's some good news. You can upgrade to our high-efficiency foam insulation, and the federal government will pay up to 30% of the cost in the form of an energy tax credit. Our foam keeps the cold air out, your warm air in, with lower energy costs all year long. And again, the energy tax credit covers up to 30% of the cost. Our schedule is filling fast, so call now and get in ahead of everyone else. It's time to stop freezing and start saving.
USA Insulation.
Now at Tops, you get a big fish at a small price. That's beer-battered haddock, fries, coleslaw, and more for only $10.99, 7 days a week. And during Lent, buy 6 and get the 7th free. Only at Tops.
Rooftop Weather is sponsored by Seneca Resorts and Casinos. Nothing else comes close.
And our breaking news coverage continues of the massive fire in downtown Buffalo that started around 10 o'clock this morning. This is new drone video to share with you that we just got within the past half hour. You can see the flames and smoke coming from the building. It's on the 700 block of Main Street in downtown Buffalo, and that heavy smoke has moved throughout the city of Buffalo and beyond this morning. You can see Main Street in that area is closed right now, so if you have to come to downtown Buffalo this morning or this afternoon, just make sure to avoid that area as Buffalo firefighters do their jobs and get those flames out. Cars are being diverted, just so you know. Avoid that area if you can. We are going to be checking in with Keelan Berrien very soon. He had to move where he was doing his live shot from to a different location because firefighters needed more space to do their work. Keelan is up, ready to go. Keelan, what can you tell us right now?
Hi, Kelly. Yes, we're still out here at the scene of this fire that's been going for over an hour about now. I'm gonna step out of the way so you guys can take a good look of what's all happening here. So if you can continue to see, a couple fire crews had to go inside the building right now just to see if there was anyone inside. We cannot confirm if there was anyone reported inside the building. As you can see, smoke still fills the air here. The entire building is basically just taken up. Witnesses say that the fire, they seen flames starting in the DC Pediatrics building at the bottom, but as time went on, flames just started progressing more and more to the top of that building there. You know, we talked to a few witnesses that was here at the scene to tell me what's going on. And we have one witness named Jason that was here at the time of the fire first happened. And he said that whenever he noticed that it first happened, it was like a big boom for flames coming out of the windows. And here's what he had to say.
For a few seconds, it was just smoke, maybe 30 seconds to a minute. It was just a lot of smoke coming out. And then all of a sudden, there was a burst of flames, and you could hear the floor fall. There was a sound like of the fire sort of bursting out of the window, and then you could hear the out of the front windows there, and then you could hear the floor fall. Yeah.
Right, that was Jason, one of the first witnesses here at the scene. He actually just sent me a cell phone footage of when he was seeing the flames first burst out of the building. We also have another witness that came around. She was walking in the area, and this is what she had to say from what she saw.
Well, I
was on my way home actually, driving down Main Street. I live on Edward Street, and I could see all the flames. And as I approached my street, it was blocked off, so I had to turn off early. Saw all the flames and the black smoke. Got home, took a walk over to see what was going on.
So yes, once again, Jason was the witness that from the first time, gave me cell phone footage showing the flames breaking through the building here. That was another witness as well that was telling us what all happened, what all she saw coming down here on her way home from her location. Once again, we still don't know what determined and what caused this fire that was happening here. A lot of people are still here at the scene. Once again, we still had to push back on numerous times for safety reasons. We do not know if there's anyone within this building, but later on today at 5 and 6 o'clock or through as the day progresses, we can tell you a little bit more if anyone is stuck here and what determined this fire here on Main Street. We're reporting in Buffalo. Keelan Berry, Channel 2 News.
All right, Keelan, thank you for that update. Just to get everybody back up to speed, this fire started in downtown Buffalo around 10 o'clock this morning. Thick smoke can be seen for miles. This is drone video that we got into our newsroom around 11 o'clock this morning. So far, we know that a lot of the streets are blocked off around that area. Firefighters are still battling that 4-alarm fire. No word yet on whether any other buildings have caught fire or if they were able to contain it to 747 Main Street. That's where DC Theatrics is in downtown Buffalo. They provide theater costumes for a lot of theater companies around Western New York. We will have team coverage throughout the day online, and we'll pick it back up again at 4 o'clock during Most Buffalo. Thank you for sharing part of your morning with us. We'll see you then. We're breaking into regular programming right now because the city of Buffalo is giving an update on that 4-alarm fire that's happening in downtown Buffalo that started around 10 o'clock this morning. Let's listen in.
Yeah. So call went out at 10:08 a.m. A 4-alarm fire. According to Commissioner Ronaldo, there was some type of building collapse, and one firefighter is presently unaccounted for. One firefighter is presently unaccounted for. Okay? Thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That was Buffalo City spokesperson Mike DeGeorge giving a quick update for you right now on that 4-alarm fire in downtown Buffalo. He did say that one firefighter is presently unaccounted for. That's new information that we just found out here at 12:09 right now as we're cutting into regular programming. Do we have some video that we can show people of the fire from earlier? The smoke is not as intense as it was earlier right now, but earlier there was thick black and white smoke billowing throughout downtown Buffalo. That 4-alarm fire that Buffalo firefighters have been battling since about 10 o'clock this morning. This is drone video that we got into our newsroom around 11 o'clock this morning. And again, we just got a quick update from City of Buffalo spokesperson Mike DeGeorge saying that right now one firefighter is unaccounted for. Again, just to bring everybody back up to speed, this 4-alarm fire started around 10 o'clock in downtown Buffalo at 747 Main Street. That's a business, DC Theatrics, that provides theater costumes for theater companies around Western New York. We did see that roof collapse of that 3- or 4-story building, and we do know that one firefighter is unaccounted for at this hour. We will continue following this story. We'll have an update for you in the 1 o'clock hour, and then we'll see you at 4 for most Buffalo. For now, we're going to send you back to regular programming.